Hello Internet, I'm me, and this is Goakiger, episode 39. And God, do I love this episode. Why? Well, it's not completely spectacular, and it's not 100% amazing, like I've never seen this before, but it is actually something that I've kind of wanted after these last two episodes. After this major two-parter with two major deaths, a huge plot line of just like gnashing of teeth and fighting in hell, and now we got revenge set up. This was a breather episode to what is going to prelude most likely to a non-stop just knock of episodes that are just going to keep going and aren't going to let up. So for now, this is the episodes of breathers. And of course, this is a Mega Ranger episode, which Mega Ranger was actually a pretty good series. I never really got to see it, and I know it's more of a technology and video game base instead of what we Americans grew up with, most likely, which was in space, which is also one of my favorite Power Rangers series. So, honestly, I can't give you most of the facts on Mega Rangers, but I can judge this episode on its own merits, which actually I think would give it a lot better judgment. Now, this episode actually starts off with, well, the Goakiger doing something that they haven't really done in, like, I think, maybe 2, 3, 4 episodes now, which is actually use Navi to predict the next ultimate power, which I still don't think they've explained how she can do that. Or is he a he? I keep forgetting, I don't care. But anyway, Navi, of course, predicts that they have to go to a high school. And of course, Guy, being the encyclopedia of all things Super Sentai, a power I envy very much, he just pretty much says, oh, we're going to the high school of the Mega Rangers. Because in the Mega Ranger series, they weren't, adults. They were high school students. And this was actually a digital thing. Again, video game based instead of being in space, like in the Power Ranger series, which both were pretty badass in my opinion, though both differ in many ways. The Red Ranger, time fire, dying. No, I'm sorry. Never mind. What's wrong with Sentai? Anywho, they go to the high school, and of course, everyone's like, "Oh, it's the Goakiger! Oh my gosh, it's the Goakiger!" Because, well, come on, they're not as just. They're flying around in a red battleship that's flying in the sky. How discreet can you get? I mean, you can't. So, of course, everyone's like, oh, it's the Goakiger. Hey, what are you doing here? And then, of course, because they don't know if the Mega Rangers are actually there or not, and it's been a while, so they're probably not in high school anymore. It actually turns out Mega Red is actually teaching at the school. He has come back to actually help motivate the children in probably the only happy Japanese high school I have ever seen in a media adaptation. Ever. Like, ever. I've never seen a high school, actually, an American adaptation or in Japanese adaptations in media that was this freaking happy and peaceful. I swear. None. I mean, if it weren't for what's going to happen later in this episode, I'm pretty sure this is probably the most peaceful high school I've ever seen on television. But, whatever. So, they come in, and, of course, it's like, oh, cool, you're the Mega Red, give us your power. And, of course, Guy fangasms, as usual. Very, very standard, very standard. And, of course, as he's fangasming, the Goakiger, most of them had not gone to high school. Like, Joe, I don't think has gone to high school. I know Luca has not gone to high school. And Marvelous also did not go to high school. So the three fighters, I don't think really went to high school. I know Doc did. I don't know why I keep wanting to call him Don, but Doc and I may have. So they are more familiar with the high school environment. And of course, Guy has also been to high school. So what does the Mega Red say for his one condition to give the Goakiger the ultimate power? It is to have them enroll as students in the high school. Which I kinda sorta don't get, because you need to register with a parent, and there's paperwork, and you got a waiting period, and all this stuff, and you got to take the entry test, and the entry exams, and the studying, but of course this is a TV show, so they're entered in immediately. Woo! But but anyway. So the Goakiger go in, and they start actually, at first they're like the Goakiger, like, fuck this, I'm out. And, let's go take a nap, let's go goof off. And then it starts off with Marvelous wanting to play basketball, and because he's, well, one of the members of Goakiger, he can jump like 20 feet in the air, and, he's ultra good at basketball because he doesn't have to fucking dribble the ball or walk anywhere. He can just jump across the damn court. And of course, Luca is trying to sleep, but, gets interrupted by these two kids working on homework, and Doc comes in and works on the homework with the kids, and like everybody's starting to get along with something. Like, except for Princess Aimee and Joe, who are watching a girl watch a guy who she likes and just wants to try to get his attention. And blah, blah, blah. I'm running through it, but honestly, it was actually a very good vibe, a very good feeling to the episode. And actually gave this positive outlook on what has been probably the darkest Sentai series I've ever seen, really. And then again, Goakiger did get a little dark at times and dramatic, but then again, it offset it with very silly and happy moments. Now, for Goakiger, this episode came off as really light and very nice and, bright. Something that, like, almost said, yeah, things aren't that bad. Sure, there's a revenge plot against us. Somebody has put a price on Marvelous's head that is completely unlimited, and our bounty has gone up to the billions. But yeah, it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. And, of course, in this episode, I'm like, wow. For most of the way through, no villains show up. Most of the way through, no bad guys. So it's just watching these guys interact with these high school students, which would normally, in any normal episode, would have been an annoyance, would have been me going, ugh, can we get this episode over with? Where's the monster to kick their ass or something? But this episode, I was pretty much like, this is a nice change of pace. And they're doing it in a nice, subtle, sweetened way. I mean, having the Goakiger come into a high school and not having to learn, but actually excelling in everything that they do because they've actually had to live in real life, and they come back with this knowledge and are excelling that in their aliens. They're excelling at everything they do. It drives the high school students to actually want to exposit their dreams and actually show that they want to actually aspire to be as good as them, which makes so much sense and actually makes it seem more lighthearted and sweet. More of the Goakiger learning something, not because they're being forced to learn it, but because they can learn it and they choose to, which was very nice to me. And of course, Bosco shows up. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, Bosco shows up, of course, here to steal the ultimate power of the Mega Ranger. But this time, they do something here where, of course, Mega Red finds Sally. God damn monkey! And Sally leads him into a forest. It's a trap, duh. But of course, Guy has followed them, and the guy tries to fight off both Sally and Bosco. At first Sally, and then like when he beats the crap out of Sally, which I was enjoying that. Bosco comes into the fight and disarms Gokai Silver. Now, then from here on, there's something where it's like, oh, the bombs are planted all around the high school, and it's like, Bosco, you dick! God, this is the only happy high school on the planet in the media world, and you're gonna blow it up. Thanks, Bosco. You earned the Douche of the Year award. You earned it. So, of course, the Goakiger, find all the bombs with the help of the students to get across the point that, high school's not all bad, but, they do it in a nice way. And, of course, they get all the bombs, they, compress them with the Time Ranger key, and, they do their Goakiger thing. And then, of course, a fight ensues between Bosco and Sully versus the Goakiger. And of course, this fight is pretty badass, pretty cool, with a very awesome Mega Ranger tribute to all of it, with the mega gliders and the mega auto and the power riser, which is not going to should not be confused with the battleizer. It's like the battle riser and the battleizer. Battle riser is something from Mega Ranger, which both the pink and the red ranger had. Battleizer is something that was a complete American adaptation that Saban used that gave the Power Rangers more of a bigger, better armored form, strictly for America only, and to sell more toys that they couldn't sell that were owned by Japan and Toei. Little fact for you there. Anywho, after the battle, of course, they beat the crap out of Sully. And something happens that I didn't expect it to happen. It's a small moment, like lasting less than 2 seconds. But once Sully is beaten, they throw him pretty much in front of Bosco, beaten up and smoked and, ready to die. And they're ready to finish him off. And Bosco flips for a second. He's like, "Fuck, you beat my monkey up." Don't take that the wrong way. But, oh, I'm sorry. The joke was, "Oh, you beat my monkey." Don't take that the wrong way. Anyway, they beat the monkey. Of course, he shows genuine concern, which I kind of thought he was devoid of. So, that could be a weak point later on in the series. So, of course, then Bosco, lets out some weird... He has the weirdest giant monsters. He has the weirdest ones out of the whole series. And, of course, he releases them, they kill him. And, it's a happy ending for all, with the Megared giving them their ultimate power, but them not using it instead. So this time we don't actually get to see what it does, which I hope we do see next episode. But, yeah, we just, leave on a happy note, and this episode concludes. And with a preview to the next episode, episode 40, where it is actually a Time Ranger tribute. That's why I was thinking Time Ranger before. And we get to see why Goakiger were in the Shinkinger versus Shinkinger versus Goakiger movie. So this series, and before that review even comes out, this season has already connected 2 movies to its actual storyline, instead of actually just leaving it off to the side. I think the Ghost Ship movie, though, has nothing to do with the series. I think it's just an offside story, but 199 Heroes and the Shinkinger versus Goakiger movies are now tied into the continuity of the season itself. This has not really happened ever before, not even with Kamen Rider. So, I'm pretty happy for that. So, I have to give this episode a good 9.5 out of 10, though I did have a few, choreographic issues with the fight scenes. Overall, this episode was very good, a very calming episode, a good break before another big battle or another dramatic scene. So, I say go watch this episode if you're marathoning the season. Some of the fillers, like beforehand I said in my other reviews, you can skip. This one's more of a breather episode, and it's actually very structural based. It'll allow you to know more of the characters and know that they actually got an ultimate power. So this isn't a skippable episode, but it is an enjoyable episode. It's part filler, part not. I don't know. It's just enjoyable. I say go watch it. It's a 9.5 out of 10, and I'm going to leave it at that. So, until next time, y'all, when we come back to Kaizoku Sentai, Goakiger, episode 40. Until next time, y'all, peace.